Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Ahmad Zubaidi bin Abdul Latif, Naib Chancellor Universiti Sultan ZAINAL ABIDIN. Yang berusaha Dr. Nik Ahmad Syaifuddin bin Nikhim, Pengarah Pusat Pengurusan Hospital Universiti. Yang berbahagia Datuk Wan Ismail bin Wan Yusof, Ahli LPU Universiti Sultan ZAINAL ABIDIN. Pengurusan tertinggi UNIZA yang berusaha dekan-dekan fakulti dan wakil-wakil. Wakil-wakil media, ketua-ketua pusat tanggungjawab dan wakil, profesor-profesor, datuk-datuk, datin-datin, doktor-doktor, tuan-tuan, puan-puan, hadirin-hadirat yang dihormati sekalian. Selamat datang ke sesi Simposium ketiga Hospital Pintar Smart yang akan dipengerusikan oleh Yang Berbahagia Profesor Dr. Zuhairah Arif binti Abdul Gadas, Penasihat Undang-Undang UNIZA. Bagi memberkati majlis, mari sama-sama kita mulakan majlis dengan bacaan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Majlis akan diteruskan dengan sesi simposium ketiga. Untuk itu, majlis menjemput untuk naik ke pentas Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Zuhairah Arif binti Abdul Gadas, Penasihat Undang-Undang UNIZA. Seterusnya dipersilakan Yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Azrin bin Zubir, Pakar Perunding ICT. Seterusnya dipersilakan Yang berbahagia Datin Profesor Dr. Hafizah binti Muhammad Nawawi, Pengarah Institut Patologi, Perubatan Makmal dan Forensik, Pusat Kecemerlangan UITM. Seterusnya dipersilakan Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Ahmad Zubaidi bin Abdul Latif, Pakar Perunding Bedah Otak dan Naib Chancellor Universiti Sultan ZAINAL ABIDIN, merangkap timbalan Ketua Kluster Perubatan dan Sains Kesihatan. Dan dipersilakan Yang berusaha Dr. Khairul Anwar bin Syekh Azim, Penasihat Undang-Undang Universiti Sains Malaysia. Majlis kini diserahkan kepada moderator program Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Zuhairah. Dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih pengurusi majlis. Pertama sekali saya ingin maklumkanlah, terima kasih pada panelis-panelis yang hadir pada hari ini kerana kita akan menyambung program simposium kita ya bagi seminar pengurusan Hospital Kebangsaan 2018. Tapi kerana masa sangat mencemburui kita pada pagi ini, kerana sepatutnya kita bermula pada pukul 10 suku ya. 8 suku. Sekarang dah hampir pukul 9 pagi ya. Jadi saya cuma ingin maklumkanlah pada para hadirin hari ini bahawa kita insya-Allah kita ada 4 panelis yang akan memberi sedikit penerangan maklumat tentang tajuk-tajuk yang diberikan kepada mereka. Tema bagi simposium kita pagi ini adalah Hospital Pakar ya, Smart Hospital. Dan oleh kerana kita akan mengadakan perasmian bagi seminar ini pada pagi ini juga iaitu pada pukul 10. Jadi saya terpaksalah mengawal masa yang pada semua para hadirin, para panelis. Jadi kita insya-Allah akan memberi setiap panelis sebanyak 15 minit lah. Boleh ya? Maksudnya kita cubalah kalau boleh kawal supaya kita boleh menjalankan majlis perasmian kita pada pukul 10 pagi insya-Allah. Jadi tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya ingin mempersilakan panelis pertama iaitu yang berbahagia yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Azrin bin Zubir, Pakar Perunding ICT untuk membentangkan tajuk keperluan teknikal. Terima kasih. Silakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih Prof. Zuhairah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi kepada semua yang hadir pada hari ini. Jadi sebagai panelis pertama, saya akan membentangkan berkaitan dengan keperluan teknikal untuk smart hospital. So sebab masa pun agak tidak panjang, jadi saya akan terus kepada kandungan pembentangan saya. Pada masa sekarang ni, everybody is talking about smart hospital. Kenapa kita berbicara berkaitan dengan smart hospital? Kita kena tengok balik daripada segi industrial revolution. Kita ada industrial revolution 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 dan juga sekarang 4.0. 1.0 lebih kepada penemuan steam engine, and then 2.0 kita ada assembly line of mass production of product. 3.0 lebih kepada semiconductor dan juga internet, dan 4.0 is Internet of Things. So maknanya kita dah sampai ke that revolution and everybody is talking about healthcare 4.0 pada masa sekarang ini. Dan smart hospital ni ada banyak definitionnya kalau kita pergi mana-mana pun. But dia berlandaskan satu teknologi di mana semua proses kerja termasuk daripada segi pengurusan hospital dan juga daripada segi diagnostik berlandaskan ICT component, di mana it is fully integrated dan the key is Internet of Things. Dan the core component of a smart hospital ada beberapa komponen yang penting. Pertama, in order for us to have a smart hospital, kita nak kena ada infrastructure. Hospital tu perlu ada core infrastructure. Yang paling pentingnya adalah network infrastructure to provide performance, to provide connectivity, to support simultaneous ubiquitous computing, dan juga to support Internet of Things. Internet of Things ni adalah satu term di mana kita mempunyai banyak devices yang dah ada dalam healthcare industry, di mana mempunyai chip ataupun component for that device to communicate dengan network dan juga dengan aplikasi-aplikasi di hospital. Dan pada masa yang sama, some of the core infrastructure juga merujuk kepada smart building dan juga green building, to make sure that the cost and then the management of the building is fully optimized. Dan komponen yang kedua untuk smart hospital adalah core system. Tanpa core system ni, kita tidak boleh dapat that smart hospital. So the core of the hospital should have total hospital information system, termasuklah daripada segi registration sampailah ke clinical documentation, radiology, ICU, semua fully computerized. Dan the other part of this core system adalah mobile application. We know that di hospital everybody is mobile. So sekarang ni dengan emerging technology or convergence into mobile application seperti Uber dan sebagainya, so mobile application has been one of the core system dalam smart hospital. Dan juga of course kita perlu ada open supporting platform to make sure that sistem-sistem ini boleh berjalan dengan lancar. Dan yang ketiga adalah daripada segi devices itself. Devices tu termasuklah medical equipment yang boleh berkomunikasi dengan application through network yang kita panggil Internet of Things, dan juga robotic technology yang semakin banyak di pasaran. Yang keempat, komponen untuk healthcare providers or the hospital staff themselves, di mana we want to have a system that must be able to support the mobility of these healthcare providers in the hospital. And these healthcare providers, doctors and nurses and everybody in the hospital, they collaborate as a team. So information shared across, dan juga bukan setakat di hospital saja, tapi sampailah ke patient di rumah, di mana kita perlu ada telemedicine. Dan yang kelima adalah komponen data. Apabila semua komponen ini ada, we have abundance of data, and kita boleh buat data analytics, the big data analytics yang akan memberi banyak maklumat kepada daripada segi klinikal dan juga daripada segi pentadbiran hospital. And of course, dengan adanya abundance of data, kalau kita ada proper algorithm, we can do a lot of artificial intelligence. as part of the system. And as we speak, people are now pursuing precision medicine, di mana people put in genetic medicine as part of the clinical treatment and can be embedded into the hospital information system. Dan komponen yang keenam adalah komponen-komponen berkaitan dengan patient itu sendiri. Kebanyakan tempat yang saya pernah pergi, mereka lebih mengutamakan smart hospital ni ke arah memuaskan hati pelanggan, pesakit. The patient experience, that is the most important one sebenarnya. Because the other component for clinical, robotic dan sebagainya can be very expensive. Yeah? And that is a part of awareness of the smart hospital. Once the public accept smart, then the rest will embrace. Yeah? And then bila kita ada smart hospital ni, patient can have a mobile application, then we can empower the patient at home, then care can actually be delivered at home through telemedicine. So these are the 6 component yang important untuk smart. But by end of the day, apa yang penting adalah apa objektif kita sebenarnya untuk adakan smart hospital ni. Some of the key objective adalah termasuk untuk enhance patient safety, keselamatan pesakit di hospital, ya, mengurangkan risiko daripada segi medical legal dan sebagainya. Kemudian to provide remote medical care at home, to have a seamless patient flow, this is the patient experience. Ataupun adakah kita nak improve diagnostic ataupun surgical ability dan sebagainya. Dan bila kita ada all the system in place, yang paling pentingnya adalah daripada segi cyber resilient. Sekarang ni ada banyak internet hacking dan sebagainya. So basically those are the other important element that we need to address as well. And of course yang paling penting juga adalah trustworthiness. Semua ni dalam digital technology. How can we trust the data? You know? So those are another element yang penting before kita nak implement any smart hospital. Some of the common smart technology yang telah sedia ada di Malaysia sendiri adalah info kiosk, hospital system, ya, dan juga RFID solution to track the infant. So these are the common one. But some of the current implemented smart hospital yang saya pernah tengok sendiri, 2 minggu lepas saya berada di Taiwan attending this smart hospital conference. So saya dapat melawat some of the hospital di sana dan juga teknologi yang telah dibangunkan. So some of the teknologi yang saya tunjukkan di dalam slide ini are the actual technology that have been implemented in some of these hospital, in particularly in Asia. I don't know why in Western country tak banyak. They are very conservative when they implement something on technology. Pertama adalah saya akan ceritakan sedikit pasal smart mobile application, queue management system, wireless vital sign dan seterusnya. Saya akan pergi one by one. This is a mobile application system that can be given to the doctors, integrate with the hospital information system, dan juga mobile application untuk patient itu sendiri. Yeah? So we can have so many function in there, dan the only way for us to have this is actually to develop in accordance to what we require. Yeah? So sekarang ni kita dah nampak banyak mobile application in the market that very innovative seperti Uber dan sebagainya. Yeah? So semasa saya berada di Taiwan, the patient, when they want to go to the hospital, they actually can view the waiting time daripada mobile apps. And if they want to go to the hospital, they can actually request to go to the hospital online and even integrated with the transportation to send them to the hospital. So by the time dia datang to the hospital, they just show the QR code dekat info kiosk and the system acknowledge their arrival and they go straight to the clinic tanpa go through all the hassle of registration. And at the same time, the queue management system will be given and delivered to them into their mobile phone itself. So it's very smart technology and patient actually kind of like it so much. Yeah? Kemudian before they go to the clinic, they can go to multiple mobile vital sign kiosk. Ini memang dah lama ada, where they ambil sendiri vital signs and all information daripada these devices is exported to their hospital information system and actually can provide notification kalau any of the vital signs itu adalah abnormal. Dan the other thing that I saw very interesting is information screen yang besar di hospital di sana, di mana they can actually look different kind of information, bukan setakat information berkaitan dengan services of the hospital, tetapi juga clinical education information. Then they can also take photo. Kadang-kadang dia datang pada waktu masa bukan melawat, they can take photo and the system can keluarkan satu postcard and send to their WhatsApp. And they can actually share that with the patient that I was here but I cannot see you. Yeah. The other thing that saya pernah tengok adalah wheelchair tracking system. Kadang-kadang wheelchair ni selalu hilang dekat hospital kan. So they put RFID devices at all wheelchair, so kita boleh track where the wheelchair are within the hospital. Kalau kita boleh track wheelchair, we can track all other things as well. Now, patient tracking. Wristband yang kita bagi dekat patient now has been different. Kalau dulu just kita tulis, lepas tu ada barcode, now kita boleh embed IoT device where we can measure vital sign, kita boleh tahu dekat mana patient located, you know. Ada RFID teknologi dan juga NFC yang integrate dengan hospital system. The other thing is the wireless vital sign monitoring. Selalunya kita ada benda ni di ICU, but now the technology becomes so small that industry able to produce a very small device attached to the patient body, and then tak ada wire bersambung kat mana-mana, all data transmitted wirelessly to the system, and they can even go to the bathroom, basahkan that device pun tak apa, tak ada masalah. And the vital signs are monitored centrally by the central nursing station. And then in the ward, by the bedside, I've seen a hospital, they ada personal information system for the patient. So patient boleh tahu status condition dia, latest result, dia boleh tengok apa dia nak makan hari ni, dia boleh tengok siapa yang akan datang jumpa dia, bila doktor nak datang buat ward round, and they can also buy materials ataupun boleh beli apa-apa online from their personal information macam dalam gambar tu. Smart cafeteria is another thing. They can actually order food, send to them. This is actually very straightforward. They will be able to know berapa banyak seat available dekat cafeteria, so tak payah tunggu lama. The other thing which is important is indoor positioning system. So I've seen in a hospital in South Korea, in Seoul, di mana bila kita masuk hospital tu, kalau kita ada appointment to see orthopedic doctor for example, kita acknowledge kita punya arrival, the system dalam mobile apps kita boleh tunjuk dekat mana kita nak pergi, because ada beacon yang boleh guide kita turn left, turn right, bukan di macam Waze dekat kita punya mobile phone, but in the hospital kita boleh tahu where to go. And the last one is the robotic technology. This is actually quite recent. 2 weeks ago saya pergi di this conference. They showed a lot of this robotic technology. So now the reception dekat hospital in Taiwan are being replaced by the robot. And they have artificial intelligence to listen to you and sometimes to be able to diagnose somebody you sakit atau tidak. I mean, not really diagnose, but to show to help to see whether you have problems and guide you to go to see doctors for appointment. Okay. So these are some of the example. And some of this robotic technology can be made available at home. So, especially untuk geriatric patient, so the robot can talk to the patient, and information, any vital sign dan sebagainya can be transmitted to the system, and doctor can do telemedicine. And yang paling hujung sekali itu gambar related to pharmacy. So when we dispense drug apa semua ni, it can be controlled by this robotic punya technology with artificial intelligence to make sure that the patient is safe dan to reduce medication error. So these are some of the technology that I would like to share untuk smart hospital ni. The keperluan technical tu, it's not really technical, but what I'm sharing is that the first and foremost is what is our objective. Number 2, the different components of smart hospital. Dan yang ketiga, kebanyakan hospital yang saya lihat implement this smart technology are basically to focus on the patient experience. That's the first and foremost, and then followed by to support the clinician and surgeon dan sebagainya. So with that, saya end my presentation. Thank you.
Terima kasih banyak Dr. Hazrin kerana pertama sekali menempati masa. Jadi lebih pada kurang daripada masa yang dibagilah. Dan kita rasa kerana ada masa sedikit lebihan, saya lebih kurang 5 minit sebelum kita pindah kepada second speaker. Ada apa-apa soalan daripada floor, daripada partisipan ke tentang smart hospital, kaitan dengan teknologi yang dibentangkan oleh Dr. Hazrin sebentar tadi? Ataupun masing-masing nak simpan dulu soalannya untuk sesi terakhir. Jadi tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya ingin mempersilakan panelis kedua, iaitu yang bahagia Datin Profesor Dr. Hafizah binti Muhammad Nawawi daripada pengarah Institut Patologi, Perubatan Makmal dan Forensik Pusat Kecermangan UiTM untuk membentangkan tajuk perubatan makmal iaitu teknologi terkini. Terima kasih. Silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Profesor Dr. Amin Jalaluddin, Ketua Kluster Perubatan Sains Kesihatan Majlis Profesor Negara. Yang berbahagia Datuk Zubaidi, Vice Chancellor UNIZA dan rakan-rakan, semua rakan-rakan di UNIZA. Firstly, I'd like to thank the organising committee and yang berbahagia Naib Chancellor menjemput saya untuk turut serta di dalam seminar pengurusan hospital. Terima kasih saya ucapkan. I'm delighted to be with all of you here. So the topic I'm given is on dari Hospital Pintar, Smart Hospital dari aspek perubatan makmal teknologi terkini. Given the short time, I think I'll probably skip most of my slides, but just an overview on Smart Hospital. I think our colleague Dr. Azrin has given us quite comprehensive definition dan sebagainya. I'll probably glance through. And I will focus on smart laboratories. What are they? Major technology trends in clinical laboratory industry and major changes in designing clinical labs to improve efficiency and answering new challenges with regards to smart hospital. I think there are various definitions, but I quite like this definition by Frost and Sullivan about what are smart hospitals, how is the concept defined, and what do smart hospitals do and how, and do they differ from digital hospital? Are they different? Yes, they are different, and how? Which regions show increasing adoption of concept around the world? And how do smart hospitals affect the vendors, the industry, in particular with our direction towards Industry 4.0? And what is the size of growth opportunities for vendors sehingga 2025? Okay, and what roadmap can we follow? Can be followed by hospitals wishing to go smart atau Hospital Pintar? Okay, and this is definition, one definition where smart hospitals are those that optimize, redesign and build new clinical processes, management systems and infrastructure, potentially, enabled by digitized networking infrastructure of interconnected assets, with the objective of providing a valuable service or insight not possible or available earlier. And that's really the smart component. So to achieve better patient care experience and operational efficiency. So in the nutshell, that's what smart hospitals are being defined as. This has been shown to you before. That's the definition of ENISA, European Union Agency of Network and Information, which has been given to you by the previous speaker. So what makes a hospital smart? Firstly, is availability and use of meaningful interconnected system and devices that lead to overall smartness. And generally, current traditional hospitals do not fall into that group of smart hospitals as defined previously. What is the motivation to get smart hospitals being targeted? It's improvement of existing hospital processes and introduction of new capabilities in patient healthcare, which was not previously possible. What are the challenges? I think our ICT expert need to dwell on that, and also kitanya legal advisor. I think it's their domain. Challenges really related to extended reliance on ICT and the various problems that can come up from there. Okay, the smart hospital framework consists of 3 layers: data, smart and access layer. The big data is really gathering of information. Smart insight is important because when we collect data, we have been collecting data for many years, even today, well, as I'm speaking now. But however, it's not incorporated, not all systems are incorporated, firstly. And secondly, is the data are not integrated together within an analytical software so that we can make something meaningful out of it. So if we get all those data and there's insight concept there, there will be an access layer. Yeah, the data should be available to, say, doctors, nurses, personnel, stakeholders, etc. So that provide the ability to make commands or instruction to take action. An appropriate level of insight customized for every potential user, either the clinicians, the support staff, etc., any stakeholders for the matter, will enable them to perform their job faster and more efficiently. At the same time, appropriate information provided can also be provided to the patients concerned on demand. Yeah? And the smart hospital concept focuses or addresses three main components. Number one is operational efficiency. I think that's what's being targeted. Number two is clinical excellence. And number three is patient focus or patient centricity. So in terms of operation, in terms of facility, logistics, the people flow, including patients, staff, and visitors as well, and clinical excellence in terms of personnel, department, patient outcome, etc., and patient centricity, and that include, their comfort, their needs, yeah, in terms of hospital design, technology initiative, hospital services, patient rooms, etc. These are some of the small hotspots of smart hospital around the world. There's one in Canada, River Valley, they're quite well established in Canada, and a few in US, in Finland, Sweden, UK, and the Asia Pacific in Australia, Adelaide, Singapore, the Farrer Park Hospital, and South Korea, the National University of Bandung, and in Dubai as well. So, and they are, what the growth opportunities, several 5 billion USD is expected in terms of growth opportunities, particularly in areas of data analytics, cloud computing, and remote patient monitoring. And solutions to address these global hospital challenges will create around another 12 billion USD in new revenue opportunities by 2025. That's been projected in various areas, including hygiene management, pharmacy, patient flow solutions, secure communication, mobile asset tracking, and smart rooms. Okay, these are the various sectors that can be implicated, and that include medical devices, pharmaceutical, health, IT, hospital logistics, and hospital facilities and management. Okay, and in terms of digital hospital versus smart hospitals, this is a quote from the industrial perspective by Dr. Timothy Liu, who is a CEO of the Farrer Park Hospital, Singapore, who was quoted to say smart hospitals enable efficient, streamlined resource utilization. The functions are intuitive, allowing processes to be better. However, digital hospital miss the consumer experience aspect, the human component. Yeah? Without human involvement, hospitals are just digital and not smart. So patient centricity, patient care, patient experience, patient comfort and satisfaction is key in developing smart hospitals, in addition to clinical efficiency, excellence, and operational efficiency. So this has been shown. There are various objectives and various assets. The 8 major assets, I think that have been briefly touched by the previous speaker, so I won't dwell into that. So basically the assets, 8 category: remote care system asset, network medical devices, identification system, networking equipments, mobile client devices. This is important. Number 6, interconnected clinical information system, and that include the HIS, hospital information system, radiology information system, pharmacy information system. And what's important for us in pathology and laboratory medicine is the pathology information system and the blood bank system, picture archiving, research information system, etc. 2 other components of hospital assets are data and building facilities. I'll skip that. But among the 8 smart hospital assets that I have mentioned, the top 4 in terms of its criticality is interconnected clinical information system, network medical devices, networking equipment, and remote care system. I'll zoom straight to the gist of my topic, which is smart laboratories. Right? Laboratories, smart laboratories are important for smart hospitals or intelligent hospitals. Now, we know diagnostic testing is essential in the management of patient care. It allows the physicians to perform early disease detection, particularly now with all the modern and high-tech methodology, we can detect predisposition of disease processes, okay? Secondly is to make a definitive diagnosis. We are also important in prescribing, monitoring patients' results and response to treatment, and help our clinicians who are prescribing drugs, etc., as well as for prognostication of the disease. Smart hospitals should be equipped with state-of-the-art, fully automated analyzers wherever possible and affordable, and comprehensive testing capabilities to include clinical diagnostic tests covering the various disciplines or fields of medicine, particularly in area of niche area for that particular hospital. Okay, I zoom straight into three major technology trends in terms of clinical laboratory industry. Firstly is automation, number two, information technology, IT, and the thirdly is in terms of the trends in laboratory measurement and testing technology. Now, in terms of automation, there are three stages of laboratory automation. One is pre-analytical, analytical, and thirdly, post-analytical. Streamline lab processes is important, and also lab automation will lead to better staff allocation, increase efficiency of the laboratory services, and boost its productivity, and what's more important, for rapid turnaround time. Reduce human errors and savings in labor costs, and improve quality in delivery of healthcare services. Now, for give you an example that was reported from River Valley Hospital in Toronto, one of the smart hospitals in Canada, which have shown that the smart hospital is able to reduce critical specimen. There is 7%, close to 80% reduction in critical specimen errors, 13% average reduction in staff time per collection, and about half average reduction, 55% average reduction in specimen time in the laboratory. Okay, ICT is important because IT is able to allow efficient ways to communicate and provide clinical services, educate staff and their clients, market their product, and manage data and information. IT also is an important means of electronic communication in terms of test requests, test results, also hard to diagnose images because they can be sent quickly to centralized specialty centers, and cross-referral can be done very quickly through IT, and test result reports can be linked to journal articles, state-of-the-art, and other sophisticated multimedia information resources. Thirdly, there is also with IT opportunity to improve laboratory services in terms of the comprehensive database for the patient. For example, medication the patient is on that could explain, for example, certain drugs causing some electrolyte changes, etc., or some of the biomarkers that could be easily explained and acted upon when all the consolidated clinical data are available with the laboratory data. It allows direct communication of test results to the patients, and also physicians will have the opportunity to review the results before information is put online. With IT, it will change the way the laboratory physicians educate themselves and their staff. Access to technical libraries in electronic format will make a more efficient knowledge as well as information retrieval. IT will also be useful in new marketing, advertising opportunities for the laboratory, as well as ability to store, process data, track patients' progress, minimize redundant testing, evaluate the collection technique of samples by the phlebotomist, track patient outcomes. At the same time, in addition, furthermore, large database can track disease outbreaks and conduct other types of public health research. The third trend is in terms of lab measurement and testing technology. Technology makes major advances that result in totally new tests and testing techniques. Yeah? Now, with the latest technology, testing processes are a lot simpler, more efficient, less expensive, and higher quality, and more better diagnostic performance. There are three areas that I would like to highlight in terms of current trends in clinical laboratory medicine to be considered when we are designing new labs. And that include genetic testing, pharmacogenomics, and nanotech. Those are three current technology that should be considered when we are designing new laboratories. Genetic testing will be very useful in predicting predisposition factors to diseases, for example. Another example, determining HIV, hepatitis viral loads, making prenatal diagnosis, identifying chromosomes abnormalities, and determining the paternity of a child, particularly in court cases, etc., ascertaining cancer cytogenetics, and identifying inherited diseases such as familial hypercholesterolemia, and there will be early detection with family cascade screening, therefore preventive measures can be done. The other area to be considered for those of you setting up new laboratories targeting for smart hospital is pharmacogenomics, where it's probably more relevant now that we know that are cost effective. You target the subpopulation, they are likely to be susceptible to genetic characteristics. For example, prevention of Stevens-Johnson syndrome with some mutations of the HLA-A as well as HLA-B, polymorphisms, yeah? Genetic polymorphisms. The other area one should consider is the possibility of using nanotechnology, which is development of miniaturized components and devices for chemical processing and also sensors, proved to be extremely useful in the movement towards developing small versatile point-of-care testing. Now, what are the effects of technology on site of services? With the advancement of nanotech, point-of-care testing and home testing will be more frequently used and adopted in smart hospital. The other one is the effect of laboratory staff, clinical staff or requirement. Total lab automation will reduce labor costs in around 25 to 50%. And we know that labor costs contribute to about 60% of total lab services. So there will be cost saving, but bear in mind, there will be greater demand for skilled IT professionals and experts to monitor and service robotic equipment. So we have to look into that for those of you who are doing costing, that is not offset by that and you lose out on cost saving. Okay, I would like to just highlight in a few minutes 4 major changes to when you're designing clinical laboratories to improve efficiency and answering new challenges. One is open lab designs. Second is automated testing. Thirdly, biosafety level 3 and molecular testing. Now, open, in terms of laboratory space, we know is very important. Space operated by the hospital and related to healthcare facilities, and its functional design is sometimes neglected. With the current technological breakthrough, there must be change in the way clinical laboratories function. Therefore, industrial top designers are required to plan and design space to improve staff and specimen flow. In the past, I think we have seen clinical laboratories were very much compartmentalized, designed in such a way is manual bench testing with technologies working in separate or even PGs, postgraduates, wall of environment, and many hospital labs are now struggling with the physical layout of the space. So the current trend and the recommendation is to have latest lab design that is wide open space with no interior walls, to allow layout to be configured as necessary later, as well as power data gases mounted overhead, not on the walls or on the floor. Modular casework rather than having fixed cabinets, and the sinks and drains should be put out of the way, like the aisles walkway, or they should be installed in a regular grid formation through the lab, yeah, so that especially when you want to move around big analyzers which drain or discharge wastewater. This will allow, open lab design will allow rapid reconfiguration, and these are some of the examples. You can look in the picture, which is ideal for smart hospital. In terms of automatic testing, that's also important. Basically, it's a concept of high-tech laboratory technology facilitated by open plan lab design. And this is the LIS. In the interest of time, I'm not able to go through that. But it's important to have a good LIS system. It's no point having an automated system, but your LIS doesn't interface well, or you have problems with that. The third issue I'd like to mention is consider biosafety level 3 is with the resurgence of BSL-3 containment. Although traditionally it's usually in large medical centers, academic medical centers, but now with the outbreaks of infectious diseases, SARS, swine flu, bird flu, Ebola, and even MERS-CoV, so there's increased concern over bioterrorism also lately. So there's more interest in BSL-3 containment to provide lab protection. Okay, so all that has to be taken into account. I won't go into the technical details, but consider that when you're building up your laboratories, if you're planning for smart hospitals. So they have their requirements. So these are examples. The fourth issue is molecular testing. I've mentioned a bit just now. Very important, the prerequisite of molecular laboratories to avoid contamination, because you're going to amplify the gene of interest by tens of millions, yeah, tens of millions. Therefore, whatever contamination, if it gets into your sample, will be amplified, and that will cause a problem to your interpretation. Okay. So just to share with you some pictures with Humber River Valley Hospital in Canada, with self-checking kiosks and very hyper-oxygenated area for dental chairs. There's a command center where all the database are being integrated for better patient care and interpretation, etc., and management. And this is a robotic use for chemotherapy. And again, patients in patient care, comfortable areas, and very conducive for healing process. This is a Farrer Park Hospital in Singapore, one of the private tertiary hospital designed by healthcare professionals with advanced medical technology. Is another example. So just my second last slide. I'm sure you've seen this 2 weeks ago, Kota Kinabalu. Anybody from UMS here? Anybody? No? To have Borneo's 652 million first smart hospital. So we are very optimistic about it. I'm sure Datuk Zubaidi is as well. Is it a reality? Is that a pre-GE gimmick? Yet to be seen and yet to be proven. And I think it's very important for us teaching hospitals, or even in Ministry of Health, to have focus ourselves towards smart hospitals. The conditions are permissible. We see how it goes. And I am very for incorporation of Sharia compliant entity as a novelty. I think we had a very good symposium yesterday, and I think that is what it should be our signature in terms of health tourism, which is good in terms of the country's economy. So in summary, smart hospital laboratories are essential components of smart intelligent hospitals. Well-designed clinical laboratories providing ample space for maximum flexibility to enable labs to grow, to change, to adapt, and to adopt into smart hospitals in future. Smart laboratories also provide infrastructure and layout needed to take advantage of the latest development in technology and medicine. We need sufficient data, the big data, and power, and also political will. I think that's another important issue. Robust ambience and ventilation, careful design of IT engineering system, logistics, etc. Selection of appropriate materials and finishings, yeah, are critical to the long-term success of clinical lab. And laboratory medicine has a vital role in facilitating smart hospitals in enhancing three things I've mentioned in my earlier slide: operational efficiency, clinical excellence, and patient centricity in the overall healthcare provision. With that, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much.
Terima kasih Profesor Datin, Dr. Hafiza. So it's interesting to listen to the two speakers talking about IT and smart hospitals, all the new machineries, kan? But all these things, as Datin correctly highlighted, is that the patient satisfaction is the utmost objective of all these new invention. And when we come to patient satisfaction, it always arise issues, legal issues lah, because when patient are not satisfied, itu masalah bila kita ada banyak issues berkaitan legal lah. So it's interesting for us to listen to the third speaker, panelis yang ketiga, iaitu yang berusaha Dr. Hairul Anwar bin Cik Azmi, iaitu penasihat undang-undang daripada USM, yang akan membentang kata pengurusan hospital daripada aspek perundangan. Silakan yang berusaha Doktor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, selamat pagi. Terima kasih Profesor Moderator yang saya hormati, Tan Sri, Datuk-Datuk, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang hadir pada pagi ini. People said the smart way to address when you didn't know many of the names in the hall is by way to say protocol observe. Okay, so hopefully I protocol observe for this morning. Today we are discussing about hospital Pintar, smart hospital, how Pintar is our hospital. But before we can, our hospital can embark into this era of smart hospital, there are a few things that we may want to address on the situations. I'm here to talk from the legal perspective only, okay? I'm not here to talk about what will be the contents of the smart hospital, but it will be only from the legal perspective. So from the legal perspective, even before our hospital becomes smart, we need to see whether there will be legal implication or not. Any legal effects. Traditional hospital, there are many cases that reflects on the traditional hospitals on this issue of medical legal. So I'm talking here this morning about medical legal. I'm talking about the intellectual property, which will include about digitalization and also data, the big data, the analytical data. First of all, let's look on the medical legal. Once the hospitals become smart, there may be some issues on the readiness of us to face the medical legal. People here sekarang ni makin celek undang-undang. They are more prone to when there is mistake or malpractice in the hospital, people tend to consult lawyers and want to sue for money. Okay, so the issue here, when the hospital becomes smart, there are many more parties to be sued. Okay. Let's see how the medical legal can work in such a way in a smart hospital. Okay, you now can imagine a smart hospital using robots. Okay, when using robots, okay, these robots most probably will be manufactured overseas. Okay, when manufactured overseas, we can anticipate it will be in English version, bercakap English lah. Okay, bukan bercakap Penang, bukan bercakap Terengganu. Tetapi robot berjumpa dengan orang Terengganu. Can you imagine? Madam, sir, please take 3 pills this morning. Apa pula dah makcik ni nak cakap ni? Bayangkan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Dan disebabkan our patients tidak faham berkenaan dengan robot cakap, dia ambil beberapa pil pun. Okay? Dan perkara yang berlaku ialah apabila ada maladministration, malpractice berkenaan dengan hal-hal robot ini, whereby our patients, for example, consume more than is supposed to be. Then it becomes a medical legal issue. Then the main issue here, who should be sued in court? Siapa yang kita patut saman? Robot? Ataupun orang yang prescribe robot? Ataupun nurse yang mengarahkan robot? Ataupun pencipta robot? Then there will be some issues on this. Okay, let us imagine a robot. A robot will take instruction from the maker of the robot, which will be the system analyst ke ataupun engineer system, etc. So this robot will be designed in accordance to the needs of the hospital. Okay, our nurses will just prescribe it, or our pharmacy will just put it into the system that how many medicine prescriptions into the robot, and then the robot pergi ke satu-satu tempat, and then apabila pergi ke satu tempat, dia tak boleh recognize orang, patients, but the robot can recognize the number of the beds, for example, prescribe dia punya, mungkin ada sistem RFID dan sebagainya, dia akan go to the assigned beds in accordance to dia punya sistem. Okay, di atas bed tersebut, kemungkinan patients pergi ke toilet pada waktu tersebut atau tidak berada di tempat, ataupun apa-apa yang berlaku pada masa tersebut, robot cannot understand the whole picture. Okay, so pada masa tersebutlah perkara-perkara berkenaan dengan medical legal boleh terjadi. So in this era of smart hospital, whereby robots become more prominent than mankind, for example, maka we need to understand what will be the consequences sekiranya smart hospital ini dilihat secara lebih menyeluruh. So we need to address this medical legal issue in this aspect of smart hospital. The other issue is about digitalization era of the hospital. Digitalization era, for example, now I can imagine that all the data of the hospital can be accessed through the handphone, laptops. Okay? A simple question to you as a nurse or doctors here, or all the stakeholders in the hospital, you can access through your phones. When you can access through your phones, okay, it's all related to your works, no problem. But sometimes you go home. When you go home, and then suddenly there is a relative or friends want to ask about the health of an individual that you know under your care. Okay, and then you just browse into your system in the handphone at home or at the coffee shop, and then the patient's data appeared on your mobile phones, and then you have shared with the friends that asking about the details of the patients. Okay, that is amount to breach of data patients. Okay. Without realizing at the first place, there is a breaching of the data because it's all in your hands, in your handphone. And then what will be, the situation will be worse if, let's say, our friends have snapped a photo on the phones that you have shown to him, and this photo has gone viral because of the situations. So this is the data breach. It becomes the data privacy, breaching of data privacy, which is we need to anticipate the worst situations if ever happen. Okay, because we are duty bound to observe all the privacies of data. Okay, this is the issue. If you see from your point of view, it may be small, but there are many cases particularly in overseas, the breach of data has made millions to the people who mereka yang nak menyaman lah. Dia boleh membuat duit dengan situasi begini. Contoh ya, kita ada beberapa kes yang pernah difailkan di mahkamah yang mana pengamal perubatan telah memberikan data pesakitnya kepada orang-orang yang dikenali, dan orang yang dikenali tersebut in good faith supply the data, tapi orang tersebut telah menyalahgunakan. For example, in one case that came to my attention is that data tersebut telah digunakan di satu mahkamah syariah for the claim of the children's custody. Dia punya custody anak. Okay, they got the data that the wife is mentally ada issue, so that cannot fit to take care of the children. So the husband used that data from the pengamal perubatan untuk claim di mahkamah bahawa dia patut mendapat jagaan anaknya untuk mendapat jagaan anaknya sebab wife dia tidak fit untuk menjaga anaknya. So this kind of simple situations can amount to a situation whereby it can be breach of data. Intellectual property on the other side, if you have during this smart hospital, you have created, for example, an invention ataupun a procedure that can become know-how or trade secrets to you. Who will own that invention? Itu akan menjadi persoalan dalam kes-kes berkenaan dengan intellectual property, whereby dalam intellectual property ini ia akan bersamaan dengan digital data, whereby the creator of the digital data is the IT experts. Okay, but you create together with this system the new procedures, whereby sekarang ini ianya akan menjadi hak milik bersama dengan IT creator, syarikat yang mengamalkan perkara tersebut. Dalam perkara-perkara berkenaan dengan smart hospital, we need to anticipate also the smart hospital will be a situation whereby a few hospitals join together in order to undergo a certain medical procedures. So contohnya UNIZA dengan USM, for example, dengan satu lagi let's say private hospital, 3 parties. Okay, when there is a medical legal issues, the 3 parties will be responsible. Okay, but of course A, B and C will be in accordance to their contributed negligence on that particular medical legal, and then we need to address on the issue of the insurance as well. Okay, because insurance will be issues in the smart hospital, how they can be identified in order to the quantum of the responsible parties. So perkara-perkara begini saya rasa adalah perkara-perkara penting sebagai mukadimah untuk the smart hospital. So smart hospital, we cannot deny can also include hospital at home. Because now if we want to, if we use the word smart, people want those convenience, the most comfortable to them. And then I'm not so sure if I can say that hospital at home also is one of the smart things that we need to consider in future. Okay, but building a smart hospital at home can also attract another legal issues, again in relation to the medical legal and also on the intellectual property issues, then the data issues, because home hospital cannot be considered as a premise under the definition of hospital. Okay. So the thing that we need to know about this era of digitalization, intellectual property, I would have to say, if you think that this is a future stethoscope, we may not be able to definitely say that this is the future stethoscope. On the right hand side is the traditional stethoscope, and I think that on the left hand side is the the future stethoscope, but in reality, it may differ. Okay, this may be the future stethoscope by using of our handphone, and of course, any issues on medical legal on these issues, whether the doctors have get the accurate reading from this device, can also amount to medical legals that need to be answered, whether the creator of this machine or the doctors make mistake in a certain particular legal issues. Bear in mind, medical legal issues, the more we sue, the more people we sue, the more merrier the case. Okay? That will be, the more merrier the case, the more money that the people can get. So in medical legal, as long as at the moment we only, the plaintiff only sue the hospital, the administration of the hospital, but later on I anticipate they also want to sue the IT companies for future smart hospital. That's all I would have to say, to share with you for today. Yeah, I'm keen to answer any questions in relation to medical, legal, and intellectual property. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih, Dr. Hairul. This is a skill of a lawyer. They don't really need slide, actually, to present an idea. And everybody was wondering what is the relationship of Peminaan Hospital with the medical legal issues. But actually, the slide is for Dr. Hairul next presentation, I think. But, you know, we respect the skill. You can just modify the idea. But what Dr. Hairul says is very true. Betul sebenarnya bila berlakunya ada smart hospital ni, for us lawyers, basically we find many other avenues, and there will be big development in issues of medical litigation lah. Maksudnya banyak perkara lah. Di antara perkara-perkara yang obviously adalah there will be change, lebih ramai lagi defendant yang boleh diklaim lah bila berlakunya pengenalan new IT and so on. So without further ado, I have few question yang nak tanya dengan Dr. Hairul kemudian lah ya. Tapi kita teruskan dulu sebab masa kita ada lebih kurang, kita 2 minit lagi, tapi kita tak boleh miss kot dengan NC Nak Chancellor Niza, dan kita tanpa melengahkan lagi, kita persilah Profesor Dr. Zubaidi maybe nak wrap up ataupun maybe nak present certain ideas relating to Datuk punya tajuk pada Datuk. Sila Datuk. Sebab Datuk minta excuse sebenarnya, tak perlu, tapi kata Datuk kena bercakap jugalah sedikit. Datuk, sila Datuk. Aspek pengurusan klinikal.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bila bercakap tentang smart hospital, oleh kerana saya pun kebetulan I'm on call today di Hospital Sultan Nur Zahirah, insyaAllah for the next 1 week. The main important prerequisite of a smart hospital is a fully digitized hospital. And it's the reason why I offer myself to be the panel today, because in Terengganu, Alhamdulillah, for the last 3 years, we have got a total complete THIS, Total Hospital Information System, which has been developed slowly, but we have been able to use that in totality in the last 3 years. And like what our friend has elaborated just now, I can just call my medical officer now and I can get the full data of the patient that just came to the ward, or the patient who have been in the ward for the last 3 months. I can get the full data. I can get what happened on the 10th day of admission. And if that data fall into somebody who is not sort of in charge of the treating team, it will be something that part of what we term as a breach of data. So that's number 1. Then number 2, when we talk about the smart hospital, it is very much a patient-centric management. And since I have been admitted a few times to the hospital, I got renal stones on my right and on my left side. So I choose not to be admitted in the government hospital, because for me, the government hospital does not provide a care which is up to my satisfaction. So I got myself admitted to a private hospital, even though I am on call in the government hospital. So when you come to smart hospital, the most important understanding is that the patient has got the right to choose. And this is what we must impart to the people of this country, that everybody must be allowed to choose. And this is a right as a human for us to make sure that before they can choose whatever they want to choose, we must discuss with them, we must engage with them. And this is the main reason why we want to make sure that today we discuss with somebody from the private company who has sort of understanding about the infrastructure, about the system, and how to go about to bring the smart hospital concept in Malaysia. Then later on, we have got how can we devise ways and means to diagnose the patients. And last but not least is how do a lawyer who is in charge of a teaching hospital or even a university can partake or can contribute in management of a future smart hospital. So it comes for clinicians now. For the clinician, I think most of us, be it as a surgeon, I think maybe I can talk in bahasa Melayu now, supaya at least more people will understand. Bila kita bercakap tentang peranan pakar-pakar klinikal dalam menangani konsep smart hospital, maka kita mesti melihat bukan saja pada pakar di hospital. Ianya bermula sebagai mungkin pakar dalam kesihatan awam. Yang kedua ialah pakar dalam dietetik contohnya, iaitu dalam kesihatan masyarakat ataupun dalam sains kesihatan. Kemudian pakar dalam bidang perubatan dan pakar dalam bidang, semalam kita dengar pakar dalam bidang forensik, dan akhirnya pakar dalam bidang pembedahan. Kepakaran yang ada pada kami ini sebenarnya ialah hasil daripada satu tujuan untuk memastikan bahawa setiap pesakit yang masuk ke hospital, pertamanya macam contoh di Hospital Sultan Nur Zahirah sekarang, siapa yang datang ke hospital pada waktu office hours akan menghadapi kesusahan, even untuk park ataupun untuk mencari tempat untuk keretanya diletakkan sebelum dia dapat kembali pada keretanya. Jadi kebanyakan daripada pesakit-pesakit termasuk ayah dan emak saya hanya datang ke hospital bila ada seseorang yang boleh menghantar mereka. Dan amat mustahil untuk mereka, kecuali saya berhentilah ataupun saya ambil off, untuk saya menghantar ayah dan ibu saya yang berada di Bukit Payung untuk ke Hospital Sultan Nur Zahirah. Jadi itu yang menyebabkan, ini contoh, ayah dan ibu saya tak pergi ke Hospital Sultan Nur Zahirah. Hanya akan pergi bila mereka pensan di rumah mereka. Satu. Dan yang kedua juga, perkara pesakit yang datang ke hospital, apabila mereka telah dirawat oleh kami, di mana yang kami lakukan perawatan pada waktu malam semalam, seorang pesakit datang pada pukul 2 pagi dengan pembedahan dalam otaknya, dan bila kami menawarkan untuk buat pembedahan kepada pesakit tersebut, pesakit mengatakan ada saudara dekat Kuala Lumpur, ada saudara dekat Johor Bahru, boleh tak tunggu pagi ini untuk mereka buat keputusan. Adakah smart hospital yang akan kita laksanakan, insya-Allah yang boleh kita laksanakan dengan bantuan dan kekalan daripada ahli teknologi, boleh mempercepatkan urusan mendapatkan konsen ataupun kebenaran daripada saudara di Kuala Lumpur, saudara di Johor Bahru yang akan datang ke Terengganu pada hari ini dalam masa pagi-pagi untuk kita lakukan pembedahan. Sebenarnya daripada pendapat kami sendiri, untuk mendapatkan kebenaran untuk melakukan pembedahan itu sebenarnya memerlukan pesakit tidak boleh berada, pesakit ataupun keluarga tak boleh berada dalam keadaan keluh kesah, keadaan tidak boleh berfikir dan sebagainya. Jadi inilah sebenarnya beberapa hambatan-hambatan yang merupakan sesuatu yang boleh kita perbaiki sebenarnya untuk kita membina sebuah hospital pintar. Jadi itulah saja saya rasa saya bercakap dari segi common sense ataupun yang sedang kami berlaku, dan insya-Allah barisan kami ini akan cuba membina sebuah falsafah dan gagasan untuk hospital pintar yang kita laksanakan ini berpijak nyata sebagai hospital pintar patuh syariah, hospital pintar yang tidak lupa bahawa ada masyarakat yang masih lagi melarat dan menderita. Terutamanya macam contoh kami di Pulau Perhentian pada hari lepas dengan Menteri, masih ada seorang pesakit stroke yang ada bed sore, yang ada infection dan rumahnya amat daif di sisi pantai. Dan pesakit tidak mahu dihantar ke hospital Tahan Zairah atau hospital besut kerana tidak ada sokongan keluarga untuk merawat pesakit tersebut. Jadi inilah yang perlu kita lakukan supaya konsep hospital patuh syariah, smart hospital itu nanti akan berupaya untuk memastikan penjagaan kesihatan bukan hanya kepada mereka yang mampu, mereka yang boleh buat pilihan, tapi juga akan dapat kita laksanakan kepada semua golongan masyarakat, terutamanya populasi marginalised. Dan mungkin sebagai last sekali saya nak ingatkan kami kepada Uniza yang telah pun menganugerahkan Dr. Persulatan kepada almarhum Dr. Surin Piswan. Beliau ialah seorang anak Islam daripada selatan Thailand, akhirnya menjadi seorang tokoh akademik kerana beliau belajar undergraduate-nya di Harvard, master di Harvard dan postgraduate juga di Harvard, dan akhirnya menjadi Menteri Luar Thailand, kemudian menjadi Menteri Luar negara-negara ASEAN. Jadi sebahagian daripada sedutan, boleh klik je, mana? Klik je ni. Sedutan daripada ingatannya kepada kita, saya nak bawa ke sini pada hari ini. Tak kuat juga. Dah cuba dapat tadi. Tak ada. Tak ada. Sekali lagi.
Because all of us need more knowledge. And Allah said, "Qul Rabb." And Allah said, "Qul Rabbi zidni ilman." Pray, Muhammad, pray. Pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give me more knowledge. And when I got the fellowship called Tun Abdul Razak Fellowship to go to Oxford for 1 year after ASEAN, I saw this ayat, Rabbi zidni ilman, in the seal, in the logo of the Oxford Center for Islamic Studies. Because all of us need more knowledge.
Jadi itulah sahaja daripada pihak kami. Wabillahi taufiq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Profesor Datuk Ahmad Zubaidi. Sekarang ini kita telah sampai pukul 10:10 jam saya. Sama ada kita mau benarkan question and answer. Okey, Datuk Zubaidi bagi sign kepada saya tidak perlu ada question and answer. Ya, betul. Kerana untuk Datuk kita ada majlis perasmian dan tetamu kehormat kita sudah berada di dalam Dewan. Jadi tanpa menengahkan masa, saya ingin menyerahkan majlis ini kepada pengerusi majlis. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Majlis merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada Profesor Moderator dan ahli-ahli panel atas sesi perkongsian ilmu sebentar tadi. Sebagai tanda penghargaan, majlis menjemput yang berbahagia Datuk Wan Ismail Wan Yusof, ahli LPU Universiti Sultan ZAINAL ABIDIN untuk menyampaikan cenderamata kepada moderator dan ahli-ahli simposium. Majlis mempersilakan yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Zahirah Arif binti Abdul Gadas. Seterusnya dipersilakan yang berbahagia Datin Profesor Dr. Hafizah binti Muhammad Nawawi untuk menerima cenderamata. Dipersilakan yang berusaha Dr. Khairul Anwar binti Azim. Dan yang seterusnya, yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Ahmad Zubaidi bin Abdul Latif. Majlis merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada yang berbahagia Datuk Wan minta maaf seterusnya dipersilakan yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Azrin bin Zubair. Majlis merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada yang berbahagia Datuk Wan Ismail Wan Yusof atas kesudian beliau menyampaikan cenderamata itu tadi. Untuk itu selesai sudah sesi simposium ketiga untuk hari ini dan majlis akan berhenti rehat seketika dan akan bersambung semula pada jam 10.20 pagi untuk majlis perasmian. Sekian wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pihak majlis memohon kerjasama semua yang hadir untuk terus kekal di dalam Dewan bagi majlis perasmian yang akan diadakan sebentar lagi. Pihak majlis ingin memohon kerjasama semua hadirin yang hadir untuk terus kekal di dalam Dewan untuk majlis perasmian sebentar nanti. Terima kasih.